Now I want to get to the ark of the crossing. So now what is this ark, and then why does the ark cross, and why wouldn't an ark cross? We need to get this component down. So let's go to 10:12. I apologize to Chevy guys here, but this is a Ford template,
and it's a house.
And it's a house, right?
Bayit.
I wanted to bring this forward because really what it says is that when you look at the occurrences, only two occurrences, and before them as far as Beth Barah and the Jordan, and then in Judges 7:24, right? It's the same thing, and the Jordan. So now we have this house, this place of Ford, is at the Jordan in both occurrences. Now, it roots down at, so it's the house of Barah. Now, they don't have in here Bet Resh Hay. Bet Resh Hay means Bara. They don't have a connector to it. I don't know why, because the exact same spelling is in 1262, and it means to eat.
Right, and we covered that.
We did.
As selecting and eating which is necessary as a formable process, so that you can be rendered clear.
Right, and that roots out at 1250, bar, which means to render clear through choice.
Exactly,
and so,
which is connecting to Bereshit.
Which is connecting to Bereshit, which is also
Genesis 1:1.
In Bereshit, bara, right? Now, build the head. Build this head, choose. How are you going to choose? You have to render clear by eating. We've our truth, 22 and 22, mother and father. You render clear to build one.
And then we also were saying, so that this next word after that is wayet. And this is the exact Vav Aleph Tav that connected heaven to earth.
Right.
And Od.
Where are you?
Right?
Where are you right
I'm
now?
just looking at Judges 7:24, just a little snippet.
Oh, you're into the word.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
and so
fine.
Od, that is also connected to time.
Yes, in time you need to, and we've already.
And adorning and bedecking oneself.
And we've already talked about that.
Yeah, just connecting.
Yeah.
Just connecting.
So in time, that's why this whole premises is still tethered to the expanse and contraction of love in the cycle of one cycle.
Right.
We are given the opportunity to build this one measure of intention in one life cycle. If we don't, most likely it's going to be a redo.
Right.
Because it needs to be built. And so we are building this, and I wanted to bring this up with these two occurrences to say, okay, well, what's at this place that, and they're not connecting it to eat, to bara, but it's the exact same spelling. There it is right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it roots to 1254 if anyone wants to do their homework.
Well, I can just quickly pull it up. Let me just.
Well, go to 1254.
Okay, so the difference is the Aleph and the Hay.
The Aleph and the Hay. So, right.
But they have the same exact sound. So if somebody was reading it to you,
right,
unless you knew the written word, you would hear the same thing.
Right.
And Hay is spelled Hay or Hay Aleph.
But they
are interchangeable.
They are interchangeable, and so. But I want you to see what it's saying right there. Look at the description. It says to create, qualify, to cut down a wood.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Making that connection.
Yep.
Okay, good. So, and then I can connect it to 1262, which is again to render clear, to choose. Because bara means to choose.
To eat and to select, to choose, yep.
Okay. So we're
and to render clear.
And to render clear.
Yeah.
So now we're connecting those two together.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what has to be done.
And again, I have to share as well is that the hay and the olive are interchangeable.
Yeah.
They're always interchangeable.
Yeah. So I want to connect.
But yeah, so here you see bara
Yeah.
with the hay.
It's
So
very,
bayit bara.
it's very difficult because if you can
It's
just pick, if you
crazy.
can get a picture of like we have a standing point, like at the end of this, if we could get it all done, everything would be connecting to everything. But we can't do that. We're just, our heart is just that we'd be intriguing people to go like, wow, what is going on here, right? And draw them in to do their own word study of certainty, to seek truth, because we're now, that's a huge component that's going on right now. But if we just say, well, truth is my truth and this is what it is, you're still giving limited truth.
Right.
Truth is of origin, and it has a frequency of origin, and that defines truth. That's my point.
So we're going back to the truth of the words.
Truth of the words resonate to a frequency of intention.
That are from the initial design through the language of light and love.
Truth is just a frequency, but
Yep.
what is it saying? And this is the point. So these are all resonances that produce one solid frequency with many fractals.
Yep.
That is one.
Yep.
I mean, like all source one,
Yeah.
completing it. Our journey is in gathering the fractals
To become one.
of potentiality to become one full potential.
Through experience.
Through experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So back out, please, and go back to the word of at the ford, 10:12, please.
Yep, I'm on that page.
We don't need to go into Bayit. It's Strong's 1004, and we already know what that means. We've already done that.
That's
right?
from Bana to build.
To build.
Yep.
And that goes right to Genesis 1:1.
Right, Bereshit.
So well, let's go to the next one, Avara 5, 6, 7, 9.
Well, isn't that interesting?
So now we have
The added AYIN.
the added AYIN. This is huge. This is now, because you have to build the AYIN. If you don't have the AYIN, you will not cross.
Yeah, because it's the crossing place.
This is the crossing place before you cross the Jordan. This is the measure of the head that has the knowing, because we separated from the knowing, moving through the experience, because the AYIN is the tree. And the AYIN is the fountain.
The etz.
The etz. It's a completely,
which is the journey that you start.
You've straightened your spine. You
Yep.
no longer have a snaking spine.
Right.
You've straightened it now through knowing.
So you don't have scoliosis.
Now you have the intimate revelation of what you are to build, and you've become that. And so the AYIN is now placed, and this is a really, really big deal.
And bar means son, apparent to the throne. There's a frequency,
Right.
not an actual physical, it's a frequency.
So AYIN would say you've eaten clearly. Or you've rendered clear.
Through bar.
You've now,
Yep.
you can render it to Barashit Bara. You built Rashit. You built the head. The head wound is now healed. In those two words, it's saying that you've now healed the head wound. The resh is standing. The bandage of 666 Asher.
Yeah.
You've now Rafim, right? You've
now you've healed yourself.
Right. So now you've healed the head wound.
So now you can have the revelation, or you will be revealed as one who has the revelation.
And this would be
of the crossing.
And this would be the eye on the top of the pyramid, because you built the temple, and now it's ready to cross.
It's not the perverted version that they've done.
No.
It is the truth. It's the koshet reality.
It's the koshet reality of certainty.
Yep.
It's not. We're not hiding anything.
No, we're revealing it, which is the hay.
We have no. Our desire. Again, we are accountable to this frequency, and we're doing our best. And we've been here for a while, and we had to hold up. Now is the time to release this. And I want to be gentle. I want to be kind. I want you to be gentle and kind to yourselves. But here we are now. So there's two occurrences of this. We don't need to go into them, but we can
No,
just look
that's
at it from
fine.
the face value. 2 Samuel 15:28 and 2 Samuel 19:18. I'm going to wait at the fords of the wilderness.
I like that it's the ferry.
And this is probably where they get the ferryman, right?
Right, the
coins,
crossing of the coins.
Because the eyes is the coins on the eyes.
Right.
That really, it's the double X's on the eyes.
The double,
tovs.
right, the double tovs.
Right, that's exactly what it is.
Wow. So there's so much symbolism.
There's
so much symbolism that has never been explained.
Right, and that's why it is. They give the money for the ferryman, which is the coins, which is the currency of the Father, is the covenantal language, and so they give it in the representation
of the external love and the internal love.
And it's usually silver or gold coins, because that would be mother is silver, father is gold.
And silver moon, gold sun.
Right. And that's why it was such a big deal in those days that you don't have enough money for the ferryman. So they use coins of lesser value of copper or lead or whatever, right? So that would show your worth of like, this is how you're associated to in value in their system of how God's going to see you. Oh, you're only that on the scale? Right? And I just showed you what scale was, right? I just showed you that the scale was the definition of
so they were trying to communicate to us a symbolic message that you had to gather your weight in gold, so to speak, so that when you were measured, you could be crossed over. Right?
And that's the same thing that even with Sodom and Gomorrah, salt in that day was currency.
And it was really valuable.
So that's why they said you're worth your weight in
salt. Yeah.
And that's what happened there in the greater narrative is that's why when Lot's wife turned around, it's like, I've already broken down that verse. She turned into a pillar, purposely said.
Which is synonymous with priest.
She was a priest. And
so a pillar.
I would say in the higher narrative is that something happened, and we're going to get there. If we can get to it without taking too much time, I need to get to brimstone. That's why. So let's look at this Arba really quick. We're at the ford, and we see that the language now, it's the Bet AYIN, Resh Bet Vav Tav.
Right, the first occurrence. Yeah. So you've been built.
You've been built as a Vav Tav, as a completed one in resonance, connecting the Bet to the Tav, right? And you're waiting. So this one is waiting at the wilderness. He's waiting in the wilderness. The wilderness can be wherever you are if it's not part of the world. And you're waiting for the crossing.
Well, the wilderness is the place that you've decided to enter into to be built.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the whole symbolism of when they went into the wilderness out of leaving Egypt.
So now that word is rooted in Abar. Go to 5674, please.
And I am just going to add this really quick.
Yep.
This is Aleph Bait Ivri. Ivri is from this root. And so I'm just connecting.
Okay, so
which that is translated as Hebrew alphabet. Aleph Bait Ivri.
Cool.
One who is built
through the Aleph Bet.
Through the Aleph Bet, who is crossed over. They found the power. Right. It's Ivri.
Did you already leave that 5679?
I just went to 5674.
Okay, doesn't matter. I was just going to say in that 2 Samuel, it's really good because they kept they crossed over. Anyways, it's just the Aleph Tav is right there.
Yep. And it's a Lamed in front of it.
It's a Lamed in front. So they crossed over as a teacher as the Aleph Lamed.
Oh my goodness. Do you see how many Ebers are in there? There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
1. So there's connecting in the first revelation, and then we've got the crossing over that have the dual revelations, and now you have a Lamed in front of crossing over, but it has the Yod in the middle.
And it's also
and it's all of top. That is huge.
It's also Barda. It's that Vav Ayin Bet Resh He, and then it's got Bara again.
I know. Yeah, that was what I was saying. So we've got Bara to Eber.
Right. Clarity. So this was a very clear one.
Man.
All right.
And then connecting the Aleph Tav, which is the Aleph Bait Ivri.
Again, we could camp anywhere, but we got to keep on. We got to keep the packs on and keep on moving. I'm sorry if it's overwhelming. I don't mean to. We have.
Well, if it's overwhelming, pause the video and come back to it.
Pause it. Yeah. So
go take a break and then come back.
Go to 5674, please. And this is why we're all feeling this right now, that anyone that is feeling that they feel alienated right now, or lonely, or lonesome, and they're in that place of isolation, this is purpose for right now. We're all feeling this.
But I felt in my spirit for the last week, I've been hearing Gimel, the gathering of the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So we are in the process. We've been feeling alienated and alone, but now we're getting gathered. So just to let you know, I've been feeling that strongly. I was actually going to do a video on it, but I've been working on your stuff.
Look at 5674. Now we have the AYIN Bet Resh. Pretty much a condensed word. It's a primitive root, and it means to cross over.
Yeah, I'm trying to go down to the definition because it's used a lot.
So in this one, you
Holy moly, it's used a lot.
This is an ARC language because it really says, and you look down, it says to cover as in copulation.
So we're talking about intimacy here.
This is intimacy, and this is the knowing of becoming bar, which is clear, a sun. But again, sun is only a frequency.
Right.
You are.
It's not the actual physical sexes.
No, it's not. It's just a frequency. It's also in there as deliver and escape, come in, carry over, bring through, beyond. This is all meta language. And meta just means beyond and over.
Right.
So this is a meta language that's being spoken here, and it's in copulation, in the intimate act of this whole language.
Well, this is hence why we call it metaology. It's the studying of crossing over.
Yeah, and anyone can go back
into something beyond.
We don't need to. I don't want to go back to basis anymore. That we've already established that. So if you're into this level of teaching, hopefully you've already looked at our other stuff. Otherwise, you're going to go like, I'm not.
You're going to be lost.
We're going to lose you.
Yeah.
But the foundation of our page is based off of that, and I don't want to go back and try to connect that. So please look at that information. It's stated at the very beginning that we are a crossed over language. And that's exactly what we're releasing right here. In this crossed over, trying to connect the art from the Palanquin now, I have the first, the second, and the third occurrence. Genesis 8:1, Genesis 12:6, and Genesis 15:17. And in Genesis 1:1, cause the wind to pass over.
8:1, yeah.
And you can see that first word that is to pass, because this is about crossing over, that the word before that bet tav bet hey, that's ark. You can go, do you see it right there?
Yep, I sure do.
So we're going to go there in a second, but if you want to know, that's 8392, and that's where we're going, because what crossed over, this crossed over. Okay.
Right, and then you have Elohim Ruach.
We do, but look at the word before ark.
Yeah, it's Aleph Tav Vav.
This is a spiritual one. This one is spiritually connected. It's no longer on the outside of body. It's no longer on the inside of mind, will, and emotion. This is now dimensionally crossed over into spirit realm.
Absolutely, I totally concur.
Connected, and we're gonna make that point here in a second. So this one is now connected spiritually as the ark resonance, as built as the Bet Tav, as built through and revealed as that revelation, the breath.
Right, which the Bet Hey. Yep.
Bet Hey. This is
and then crossed over.
Crossed over. Elohim Ruach.
Exactly.
This is the breath
so
of Ruach.
The breath of. So in making of the Elohim, that is spirit.
Right. Do we breathe into ourselves?
Well, that we should be.
We should be. But I'm saying, like, it was a rhetorical question. Did we breathe into ourselves?
Oh yeah.
Better sheet.
Right.
Go journey, son.
I'm sending you on a journey.
I'm going to stay in the heavenly abode, but
and
I'm
sending
my
you
avatar to journey, so I would know what it is to experience love.
And I will breathe this into you.
And I'll breathe this
through
into
the Spirit.
Yeah,
so that you can become.
But you're going to have a head wound you're not going to remember. Journey well, my son.
So in actuality, we can take a look at our journey of life and be really excited because it's really the revealing of who we are.
Yeah.
That's what the book of Revelation is all about. The book of the revealing of who we are as Elohim.
Well, this is
big.
This is an interesting thing, and we've shared this when we taught Crisis Response International and we work, that usually you see people truly who they are in a distressed situation.
Always.
You usually see the character of the individual when you're in a tornado, an earthquake, a car wreck, anything like that comes. That's when you see the true characteristics of an individual.
Yeah.
And so in the experience of life, it's the same. What we're going through is the revealing of true characteristics of really what is in your heart.
So it's the revealing of Shem, those who have honor, authority, and character.
If you are the name of one,
then
one, you're going to resonate to that pure essence frequency of one. If you're not of one, then most likely you have some more work to do, or you have purposely allowed that expression to come out and it is not.
So that is why when we say that all this stuff that's going on the outside is not our reality, this is not my reality. Koshette. Koshette.
So let's go now. Look at, yes, absolutely. So look at the next occurrence at Genesis 12:6. Abram passed through the land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then 15:17, the torch which passed between.
Of course.
That's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
So now we have the AYIN, and it's rendered down raw, AYIN bet resh. That is which passed. This allows you to pass between.
And the word bayin, it's between, but that's also the same word for discernment.
Right. You've discerned correctly.
Chokmah and binah, wisdom and understanding.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's the fire.
Yep.
The Ish of Asher.
Yep. And so that's his one, and this is why the Sheen. So this is because again, these are the Asherim.
Of course, and it's Ish Resh.
And we've already. Hopefully everyone's already connected. We can't fit it in one teaching, but these are Assyria, or that's what it's condensed into now. But if we can extract out the higher frequency, it's talking the Asherim are the AYIN Bet Resh. They are the healed, built head. No longer the head wound, through the Asherim, through the Asher tree and the cypress tree or the fir tree, they have built the ark and have crossed over. They are in, and what is the ark again? The Merkabah, or the Palanquin.
Yep.
And only a king can do this.
Yep. Med Lamed Kaf.
A counselor of a balanced estate.
That can advise you.
Now you're hearing some language of how we pen things. This is one who has established and balanced their own estate, and they're sitting in center.
In Shalom.
In Shalom.
Shalama.
So I highly recommend, whatever we're going into this next season, please remember Shalom. So quickly, can you pull up 8392 just to show what that word for ark is? Again.
Yep.
And the first occurrence should be Tav, Bet Tav.
Yep.
Okay. So that, but yet, even in its definition, an ark in a chest is still the Bet Hay, love built through revelation, or love built through the revealing breath. That's what an ark is.
And with gopher wood, it's the Gimel Pei Resh.
We're going there right now.
That's awesome.